So right when I started doing the month with the MacBook experiments, the hardest thing right out of the gate getting used to was using my Windows keyboard. My muscle memory on the Windows keyboard is obviously to hit the control key because I was using it with my PC, whereas on the Mac it's command. And just amongst other things, layout stuff is a little bit different between my normal Windows keyboard and the one built into the Mac. So using the Mac as the desktop with my Windows keyboard was causing some confusion. And normally I just say, whatever, I'm just going to get used to it. The problem was, about a week into the experiment, my keyboard died. And it didn't work anymore. I don't know why. It was like an intermittent problem where it would not be recognized by the wireless receiver. I thought it was just like the battery was dying, so I finally switched to battery and it didn't fix it. And I moved the receiver closer, it didn't fix it. So I'm like, okay, this keyboard served me for like 3 years, but it's finally dead. So I've always liked the Apple keyboard and the Apple trackpad. Another big things that motivated me to buy these is that without a trackpad, a lot of the things like mission control and stuff are not usable on OS X. Like, you can, but you gotta set them up and it's a lot more complicated. And I like the trackpad experience on OS X. So I was like, you know what? Ever since I've gotten my Mac and I've used it a couple times at desktop, I always wanted this keyboard and mouse combo. So I got them on eBay way cheaper than they would be at the Apple store. So I got both of those for the price of just the keyboard, so like 30 something a pop. Not too bad. But that was the big thing. So another thing that I kind of found while I was looking to get a trackpad and keyboard was this guy over here. And this is the Logitech MX Master. And this is a brand new mouse. And the reason I got a new mouse, I don't want to say the previous version of this product, but I got the Logitech Performance MX, which has been my favorite mouse. In fact, when my last Performance MX died, I bought another Performance MX. I really like it. It's a sculpted mouse. It feels good in the hand, has a lot of function buttons. But the big pain in the ass for it was that it used a USB receiver. Like, for the longest time, nobody made a high-end Bluetooth mouse, which I prefer to have Bluetooth so it doesn't use up a USB port. And I can easily pair it with multiple things instead of having to unplug the receiver and plug it into another device because I have multiple computers. This guy is both wireless with the receiver and Bluetooth, and it also can pair to 3 separate devices with profiles. There's a little button to toggle them on the bottom. Build quality isn't as good as the Performance MX. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit plasticier, and I'm not really a huge fan of the bronze finish. I like the gray and black of the Performance MX, but so far, it's the best Bluetooth mouse I've ever seen. But it's really expensive. It was $80, and that was $20 off the retail price. So probably the most expensive mouse I've ever bought, and I'd still probably give the overall quality to the Performance MX. But if you want Bluetooth, I haven't found a better mouse than that one. Right next to it, you can see another thing I got, a USB hub, because 2 ports on a desktop just isn't enough. I mean, I needed a webcam because I do a lot of live events on my channel, and I didn't have any. I didn't have enough. I had to close the webcam on the lid of the computer to use it as a desktop. So I needed to route my external webcam, and I just didn't know. 2 ports isn't enough. So I got this USB receiver, or USB hub, and working out pretty well. It's anodized aluminum look, kind of looks like a Mac product, even though I kind of have it tucked away behind there, so it doesn't really look like anything. It's not very heavy though. You would think it's heavier because it's made out of aluminum, but it's pretty cheap feeling actually. It's some Chinese brand knockoff, wants to be like Mac but isn't. So the build quality doesn't really stand up to an actual Apple product. Surprise, surprise. But it looks the part, it works well enough. It gives me 4 USB instead of 2, which is great. So I have enough ports now for all my stuff, which is cool. And then the big thing that I've eyed this ever since I bought this MacBook back in 2013, and I wanted this product super bad. And I finally got it because this isn't the first time I've just thought about using a MacBook as a desktop, and this is the product that really makes it all happen because I hate cables so much. This is the Hinge Dock vertical docking station. This thing is beast, and actually I haven't even used it yet. I just got it in the mail yesterday. I've been waiting for it for like 2 weeks. What's great about this guy is you slide the MacBook in vertically. It sits in here, and then it has adapters in the base for all the ports on that side of the MacBook, and then it has cables on the bottom that come out and go into all your accessories. So all this stuff's going to be hooked up to those cables, so whenever I want to use this in desktop mode, just close the lid, drop it right in there, and it's docked, and everything can be already plugged in, so I don't have to unplug or plug in anything because I'm super lazy. And also, I can actually route cables nicely around my desk, as opposed to having to keep them exposed because I got to unplug it whenever I want to move the Mac. Another thing I had to buy with this is that it needs a power adapter. So you need like a Mac charger. So I didn't want to constantly have to unplug and plug in my Mac's power adapter because that would have defeated the purpose. So I bought another power adapter, again, cheap on eBay. I got all this at like at least a 25% discount off of retail through eBay. So I'm a cheapskate, go through eBay. But this is like, if this didn't say Henge docks on it, you'd think it was a Mac or an Apple-made product. It's made of the same kind of aluminum, the same kind of feel, the same kind of finish. It's super sturdy. It's just a really nicely designed product. And I'm actually going to test it out and make sure it works as soon as this video is over. So I might be singing its praises a bit prematurely. But altogether, all this stuff probably costs, let's see, the Henge dock was 80, the mouse was 80, so that's 160. The hub was 15. So 175 and then 60, so probably about 220. Kind of ridiculous. Especially, I'm really hoping, especially with this dock, that the Skylake revisions of the 13-inch MacBook Pro don't do a body redesign. They probably are, though, because with the new MacBook, they have the butterfly style keyboard and the thinner thing and USB 3. Because I'd like to use this for more than just one machine. I'd like to, my next MacBook that I get, maybe in a year or two, because now I'm sold. For my personal workflow, unless something really big happens, I don't need a desktop. I think my MacBook Pro, I haven't noticed any performance degradation, and like using OS X full time, I can really start appreciating all the advantages for me of OS X. A lot of the apps, I can use the Affinity Suite, which I'll probably talk about in a video. Just the features of OS X, desktop switching spaces, mission control, all those things I love on OS X, and I've been able to use them exclusively without having to like forget about them when I switch over to my desktop. So yeah, I'm sold. I don't think I'd ever buy an iMac just because it's so locked down and it's a desktop and the parts aren't as good, but for a MacBook, like it's a laptop and you get that portability factor that an iMac doesn't have. Yeah, I can accept the trade-offs that come with a laptop if I can dock it and use it as a desktop as well. So I think this is my setup. I think I might be done with desktops. I mean, I'm still gonna have my Windows machine. I don't think I'm gonna be able to sell it. There's nobody really buys desktops anymore, and even if they do, online shipping is ridiculous, and that's why nobody really does it. I mean, maybe I'll try listing it because I could probably get a few $100 for it. But I think this is gonna be my new setup, and you can see back there. This is the Huion GT185, which I'm still testing out. I'm actually gonna ink some pages of SL on it tonight and really give it a workout. So that's an update. I might do like one more like actual video. This was just kind of spur of the moment because I just got all the stuff in I needed for this setup, so I figured I'd make a video before I forget about it. I'll probably do one more like proper video with my final conclusions once everything's set up. But right now, I'm like 99% sure I'm never buying a desktop again. For me, I just don't need it anymore. So that's all. You've been watching Rebel Pixels, channel all about empowering and passioning the DIY creator here on the web. If that's you and you live and die by your art and you love technology and stuff, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I make technology and creatively minded videos every week. This is a special one, but I do ones Mondays and Wednesdays, and on Fridays I do live events, either Q&As or live draws. So hit the subscribe button, check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. So this is Tom Oliver. You've been watching Rebel Pixels, reminding you guys it might be indie, but that doesn't mean that we're alone. Catch you all in the next video.